Hey guys, welcome to the ATP Project. You're with your hosts Steve and Nick.
How are you, Nick?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
I'm really good today.
Yeah?
But I'm feeling like there's a cold coming on.
Get away from me. Stay on that side of the table, Steve.
Yeah. But that's what we're talking about today.
We are talking all about the immune system.
That's awesome, isn't it?
I know. Well, specifically, we're taking a bit of a different spin on
Yeah.
it. We're actually going to do our top 10 favourites.
Yeah.
We're going to do 5 each.
Yeah, I know.
So either immune herbs or nutrients to help the immune system. So we've both picked 5. We don't know what the other one's picked. So I don't know if we've done any that are the same.
I know last week when we talked about this, it's herbs and nutrients, and I just stuck to herbs because I thought you might do some nutrients so we get a difference.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before, and we could have 20 herbs on today's podcast that all equally, come out as well. We know one thing, that you and I both didn't pick echinacea, either angustifolia, purpurea, or any of them.
No, we didn't.
It's funny that, isn't it?
We've gone a little bit left. No, we've gone a little bit, some maybe not as common, but amazing.
Yes.
I mean, an echinacea is great, but it's actually not my first pick for as an immune herb.
It didn't make my top 5.
No.
I mean, nothing against it. Don't say, I take it. Yeah,
it's great.
I pulled up paper on the computer. I've printed out loads of papers here. But, there is evidence on it. No question.
Yeah.
But I didn't pick it because I'm thinking of the average Joe six-pack out there who's got a cold, got a flu, got a weird sort of virus, whatever virus you want to name. I won't name any, but if you've got a virus, what do you do? And you could boost the immune system, you kill the virus. There's 2 ways to go about it. So you could pick immune stimulants, I could pick antivirals, vice versa. I've tried to mix it up a bit, and I've tried to stick to common herbs that people have heard of, but also that there's evidence for that you really have to get into.
Yeah, that's right.
I picked one that I think's it's a Chinese herb.
Yeah, okay.
But,
I think I know the one.
Oh, don't.
I don't know. I'm not giving it away.
What's the other one? There's 4. Oh, yeah, the other one. Yeah, the other one is one that you wouldn't. Oh, I don't think you would have picked.
Okay.
But it's one of my favourite herbs of all time for everything.
Oh, I know that one, Steve. I'm sure I know that one. I didn't pick it, but I reckon I know what it is.
Oh, shit.
Let's just wait and see, but I reckon I know what it is.
You know me better than I do. What people know is we kind of communicate outside this podcast.
Yeah.
We're kind of buddies. So we're starting to know each other a bit, so this is a bit of a worry. Well, look, where do you want to start with your first one, or just ladies go first?
Okay, done. So my first one isn't a herb. It's a nutrient.
Yeah.
Quercetin.
Oh, shit. That's a good one.
That is a good one. I love quercetin for many different reasons. It has a lot of different actions.
Yep.
So the main action that I love about is anti-inflammatory. So when you have a viral infection, bacterial infection, even fungal infection, there's also always inflammation involved in that.
Yep.
So it helps to dampen that inflammation. It's also anti-mutagenic.
So anti-mutant, what's that? Something that kills mutants? What is it?
It does kill mutants, Steve.
Good, there we go. I thought so. That was the mechanism I've got.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I remember those.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
What was the names of Raphael?
I don't know. They were all Donatello. They were artists. Michelangelo and whatever the other one. Leonardo.
See, there's a secret voice in the background.
I know. It's the one sitting in the corner that knows all this stuff, the nerdy one. Yeah.
So quercetin, yeah, okay.
Quercetin, yeah. So anti-inflammatory, anti-mutagenic.
Yep.
So it stops that mutation, that cellular mutation. So you don't want that.
No.
Anti-carcinogenic.
We know what that is.
We all know what that is. Cancer, that type of thing. It's anti-aging as well. Just as an aside, this has got nothing to do with immunity, but it is anti-aging and anti-platelets. It stops that stickiness.
Which is common in. See, you've touched on a few things there. Firstly, the anti-mutagenic viruses are well-known causes of cancer. Certain viruses.
Yeah.
Epstein-Barr causes lymphomas, and especially Burkitt's. I think 95% of Burkitt lymphomas start with the Epstein-Barr virus. So getting rid of viruses is a real nasty trigger for some cancers. The other one you mentioned was anti-inflammatory, because you've got to remember, when you've got a cold or flu, you get achy joints.
Yes.
And that's high levels of tumor necrosis factor, interleukin-2, coming out, causing you achy joints, and you just feel like crap.
Yeah.
So reducing that inflammation is a really good one. It's funny, I was going to pick a herb, but anyway, we'll get to that. that had a similar mechanism.
Yeah,
now, it's funny because the Chinese herbs that are very, very high in quercetin that's in this paper And if you quickly look at that, there's the herbs, and it's the first ingredient is quercetin. This is antiviral.
Very high flavonoids.
So, you know, Mai Kui, Fu Ling, Beiju, Ji Zhang, and Zhang Yao. And you're thinking I'm making that up now, don't you? Yeah. And so they have the main ingredient in those herbs that they put down to is of course, quercetin, and it knocks out COX-1, COX-2, interleukin-6, you know, capsaicin, tumor necrosis factor, all sorts of things. So yeah, absolutely. And if we get that ingredient and take it on its own, it's absolutely brilliant.
It's great. It was really good for the virus that we're not allowed to name.
No, that
the virus in the last few years that caused the pandemic. Very good for that. So it's very good at stopping that mast cell degranulation.
Yeah.
So mast cell, they degranulate. There's over 200 of those pro-inflammatory mediators that come off there. Histamines is one of them, things like that. So a lot of times you can have histamine issues, and particularly with that particular virus that was going around for a long time. So it was really good for that. It is antiviral, as you said. So, I love it for so many different things.
It's a good one. Yeah. This paper that I'm referencing is called The Prevention, Treatment and Potential Mechanism of Action for Herbal Medicine for some virus I can't pronounce.
You're not allowed. The big C.
That one.
Big C.
So that's the paper and quercetin's up there. Really good one for that. So that's a really good nutrient.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. And I like, and we talked about this earlier actually, not that we do a lot of talking about the podcast when we get on here, but we like herbs and nutrients that have multiple actions. Yeah. So you're sort of targeting different systems of the body at once. So that's
I got a few of those. It's funny, you know, even like herbs like sweet basil, which was on the top here of the herbs in this other paper. The number one ingredient in that is quercetin and rutin.
Yes.
And rutin is very quite close to quercetin. In fact, it's metabolized to quercetin.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering what rooting is, that's what it is.
Rutin? Yes.
You've got to be careful how you say it. A lot of
vitamin C supplements will have the bioflavonoids in them, so rutin, that sort of thing. So, yeah, they're that's not me. It's not us. Laughing. This is all behind the camera. No one sees what goes on behind the camera.
all this, you know, all this information on rutin. It's interesting. Goodness. Lots of rutin information in here. There is a lot of rutin information in this one about the herbs. What are you laughing at?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. With two men. Anyway.
See, people think we make these words up.
No, it's rutin, people. That's how you spell it. It's rutin. It is a bioflavonoid.
Well, we got in trouble for mentioning a virus a few years ago.
Well,
we have to be careful how we say that one because we got in big trouble for that one. And I didn't name the bloody thing.
No, I know.
It's like, Jesus.
I think it might have been the connotation that was attached to the way it was said.
Oh, maybe.
Had something to do with it.
That's very, yeah, you're right. But do you want me to give you my one?
Yes. Your turn. Give me your number one.
Number one. And this is the one that, and you're going to go, of course, but andrographis.
I knew it. I knew it.
So you know me too well. And you know me too well because occasionally, you know, I bring, just so as you know, I've got a prop here.
Oh, he brought props. You didn't bring, it's behind your chair.
See, I'm really well rehearsed this. And this is now empty.
Yeah.
And this is a bottle for the camera of andrographis herbal medicine, and you can see it there. That's a tincture that we get. Now you can see it's empty because
you passed it around to everybody.
The camera and finished it off today, and that's because that's the one you bring into people. And you've got some of this.
Yeah, I've got some.
I asked you some. You need some more. Yeah. And that's the go-to herb for me because it's so well researched.
Yeah.
And this is a 1-to-1, and this tastes like. I can't even describe it.
Doesn't taste great.
But the cameraman, Matt, I gave him some and he went and put it up and sniffed it and started gagging and coughing and carrying on. It's like, yeah, this is the one. And I've got a paper here, and this is a big review paper on how to kill viruses 2022. It's published in, I think it's in Virology now. Going to quote me on that. A Virology journal. So it's a very well-known virus. And the title is Effects of Herbal Compounds on some virus, a systemic review, meta-analysis. And of all the herbs, that one, the andrographicides, which are in andrographis obviously, is the most potent natural medicine against those unnamed viruses that we can't talk about.
Yep.
And it kills all sorts of viruses. You know, if you look at this, as andrographicide had the highest effect. Andrographicide is a diterpen lactone, which is recognised for its broad spectrum antiviral activity. And it was the most potent against particular virus, the one they tested, by inhibiting ACE2 receptors and viral factors such as RNA-dependent polymerase and all those sort of things. So there's multiple mechanisms of actions and it is so antiviral. It is really, really good. The other side effect of it is it boosts the immune system as well, but it's also potently anti-carcinogenic. So, you know, when you're taking, so let's say you had a flu and you took Tamiflu, the drug. Side effect, that means incredible nausea and usually makes you throw up.
Yeah.
So really, really bad. But this paper, you know, looked at all the in vitro and in vivo studies and said this was the most potent against the viruses. So, you know, and the graph side showed the highest selectivity and index on the virus that they tested. So absolutely, this is the one to have in the kitchen. This is the one that I bring here to work and dole it out. And if I get sick, I take about too much of that.
You do kind of just swig it. We don't recommend that.
The dosage, the highest dosage is 3 mils a day.
Yeah,
it's 20 mils a week. So because this is the 1-to-1. This is this is it. This is people out there won't. But we can get this, but it's a practitioner only because it's super duper strong. So I take about 4 mils a day on that one. Sometimes 4 mils twice a day. But I don't take it for a long period of time. But it's extraordinarily potent to kill viruses. So this is a really important papers on that one. And so I picked that one because you're most likely going to run into, you know, if you're sick, it's most likely a rhinovirus or a influenza virus, A, B, or C, or other type of virus we can't talk about. That's going to be, that's what you're usually going to encounter. You could get a bacterial infection, but that's antibacterial as well. So this is what my go-to is. It's not so much an immune, it's not so much an anti-inflammatory, but it just kills viruses. So that's what I love it for. And I know you love it too.
I love it. I do love it. And I purposely did not choose it because I knew you would.
God, I'm so predictable.
You are predictable, Steve.
You got to go next anyways.
Yeah. All right.
What did you pick?
So my next one is, and this again is not a herb. It's coming from a herbalist. It's quite strange, but I do use a lot of nutrients. So this isn't directly sort of antiviral, anything, but it helps the immune system and it helps a lot of the effects of sort of infections, viral, bacterial. Glutathione.
Oh, my God.
I love glutathione. I prescribe it a lot. I use it a lot. I use it myself. So good for so many different things. Our body produces glutathione itself. It's our master antioxidant. We've talked about it before. So it helps with so many different things in the body. But it's antioxidant for one. It's anti-inflammatory.
Yep.
So it helps against oxidative stress, which can come on when you do have viral infections and things like that. So it's really good for that. It helps to maintain normal cytokine levels. So cytokine, you can get, I don't know if anyone's
chemical messengers.
Heard of cytokine storm when things go a little bit crazy. It helps to regulate that. Supports mast cell. I mean, I'm all about histamines. So, and I do see a lot of people when they have viral infections, they have histamine issues due to that. So it can help to support your mast cells as well. It supports lymphocytes.
Wow.
They're a type of white blood cell involved in your immune system.
Very important type.
So really good for that. It prevents oxidative stress, as I said, which is really, really common when we have infections. And people become depleted in glutathione really easily.
How do you become depleted? What are some of the factors?
Infections is one of the big ones.
Yes.
People who smoke.
Yep.
People who drink alcohol, certain medications, poor diets, all of that sort of thing. Anything that would cause a lot of oxidative stress in the body where your body is having to produce glutathione and it can only produce so much before it can't keep up with whatever's going on. So,
okay, Nick, I'm going to hit you with a question.
Okay.
You said that drugs deplete glutathione. Now, you know what? Here's the thing. The drug that depletes it the most is A, the most commonly taken in Australia.
Yeah.
B, it's taken usually when you got a cold or flu. C, it's in loads of cold and flu tablets, so people are going to be likely to get it.
Yeah.
And D, I bet you everybody's got some in their pantry.
Okay.
What's that? It's the chemical name starts with A.
And so it's obviously non-prescription.
Non-prescription.
Okay.
But it's a drug.
So I'm going to say Panadol.
Exactly. Panadol. Acetaminophen.
There you go.
There you go.
It's very, very common. Yeah,
and that depletes glutathione dramatically out of the body. Yeah. So the chance of you taking that when you've got a cold, when it's depleted anyway, is high.
Yeah.
And you mentioned some other things there. Now glutathione, I mean, people use it for heavy metal detox. We use it as an antioxidant. But what happens during a cold and flu is your immune cells kill virus-infected cells by squirting out a whole lot of free radicals and smashing them, which is great, except free radicals go everywhere and you become a big free radical. So you need loads of antioxidants to mop all this up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, the classic one for colds and flus, I didn't put it on here, is vitamin C. That concentrates in the white blood cells, particularly leukocytes you were talking about, which protects the immune cells from their own free radicals. But isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
While you got a cold or flu, you're depleting glutathione and you're taking a drug to deplete glutathione.
Yeah. So you'd be better off. So people take these, but they take the Panadol for the pain.
Yep.
So they're depleting the glutathione. You'd be better off taking glutathione, taking something like, I hope this isn't on your list, something like a curcumin to help with inflammation. Sorry, Steve.
No, it's not on my list. I know it was going to go on there.
I was going to go on mine as well because it is also antiviral, curcumin. So just throw that in there. Might as well talk about curcumin. But highly anti-inflammatory.
Yep.
So you'd be better off taking something that's anti-inflammatory, so your curcumin and your quercetin, anti-inflammatory, and your glutathione.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, when I had the big C virus that was a few years ago, pandemic virus.
Are you swearing at this point? Is that a swear word? It's not a swear word, is it?
No, it's not a swear word.
Oh, okay, good.
I did take high dose quercetin and I took glutathione. And curcumin. So so there you go. So you could go that route instead of the Panadol, which has all the other effects, negative effects on the gut, on the liver, as you said, depletes glutathione, all that sort of thing. So.
Well, when I had the big C of a virus, I didn't take anything because I wasn't really that sick.
No, you weren't that sick.
No. I was already on zinc and D and stuff that you take. Quite remarkable. So that's a really good one.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's a good one for mast cells too, because the symptoms of that cloggy, because usually you don't die of a cold or flu.
No.
It feels awful. You get stuffy head here and that, and people take, pseudoephedrine as an antihistamine to clear that up. But if this clears it up as well, it reduces the symptoms from the mast cell degranulation as well as being antiviral.
Yeah.
And that's why, as you mentioned, turmeric, curcuminoids was the other one that I almost put in there because it's super anti-inflammatory. Yeah. That's what it really does. And it's antiviral.
Yeah.
And really good for the immune system.
Really good for the immune system. So I will just say quickly with the glutathione.
Yep.
I mean, it's not the easiest thing to get, obviously, out there in the retail world, but get liposomal. Don't because it's very easy destroyed. So if you take it in and it goes into the gut will destroy it. So liposomal form means that it's a lot more absorbable. So you want to look for a liposomal form. Because
most tripeptides that are taken, and this is a tripeptide, it's got 3 amino acids, it actually gets digested, so you don't want that. Yeah. It's funny, I've got this paper published in Molecules 2021, and it shows you the mechanisms of where the herbs work. And I'm just going to mention turmeric and ginger, but they block the viral entry to the viruses. So when you're looking at that, those herbs like ginger and turmeric, I hope you haven't picked ginger.
I haven't picked ginger.
Oh, good.
No.
So those herbs you can take every single day.
Yeah.
Long term. So during winter, and they're warming herbs too, as you know from the TCM days. Yeah. So we talked about echinacea before. You don't take it long term, but ginger and getting ginger and getting turmeric in your diet, you take long term before the cold flu season, so you don't get one.
Great, it's great, and it has other effects as well. Great for digestion. The curcumin's good for your liver health as well, so it has your added benefits. Well,
and ginger has some really special benefits for headaches because it's one of the only 2 herbs known to man that down-regulate calcitonin gene-related peptide, which is the classic one associated with headaches and migraines. So many reasons to eat ginger.
You love it, don't you, Steve? You eat ginger all the time.
I hate the taste of it. It's yucky.
I find, I don't know if this is just a generalisation, but more men can't stand ginger than women seem to be okay with it. I love it.
But she eats mushrooms.
I'd eat a piece of ginger.
The rhizome that
literally, because we grew our own ginger, so I've got it in the freezer.
More potent too.
Yeah, it's great. So good.
Put it in the freezer so you never have to see it again. It just covers in frost at the back.
If anyone grows ginger and I got 5 kilos of it off my plant, so I had to freeze it, and it freezes really well. And if I was to have digestive issues or you're not feeling good or getting a cold, I'd just I even say to clients sometimes chew on fresh ginger before you eat. It can help with digestion.
Oh, you're 100% right. I just can't stand it. I mean, this is really amazing stuff. But
It is awesome.
But no, it's great. And having it every day in your diet, it's very good for you.
Good.
So try and cook with it and, choose if you want. But yeah, as I said, my wife loves it and puts it in smoothies and all sorts of shit. It just makes it taste like, burny, shitty stuff. I wish I liked this stuff. I wish I liked ginger. I'd have it in a bottle like that and I'd just swig it every day. But I'd rather kill myself, actually. No, I wouldn't. It's just bad stuff for me. It's good for you. I'm just having. Oh, you want to talk about tastes? What is that?
Well, there you go. I mean, I'd take ginger over andrographis any day of the week. The andrographis, you've got to hold your nose and just work.
But the ginger burns for a while in your mouth.
Does, if you get a good quality ginger, so people, if you don't have a ginger that burns,
I prefer andrographis.
Oh, there you
tastes
go.
like arse, but I don't know what's the polite way of saying what that tastes like? It's just yucky, bitter. It's disgusting.
Know what arse tastes like. Sorry.
Kind of walked in that one, didn't I? No, don't leave it in there. Leave it in there. Oh dear.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So stopping the viral entry. Ginger and turmeric are good. And funny, none of us picked that.
No, we didn't.
Who are we up to, me or you?
We're up to you, Steve. You're number 2.
I think I'm actually, this might actually work. Yes, it will work because you know what the next one I picked was?
I don't know.
And you're going to call me a boring old herbalist, but garlic. No! Did I?
I did pick garlic too.
Shit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Look,
that's okay. Hey, we didn't tell each other for a reason to see.
No, that's right. I mean, look, it's amazing. But this is this mechanism in Molecules 2021. It's got where the herbs work. And so we've started at the top there. We've got turmeric and ginger blocking the entry, so that's always good. Andrographis works down in the replication of the virus, stops replication. And then allium stevum and another herb that I'll get to later directly targets viral proteins, so it directly attacks them. So garlic kills the virus. Yep. It literally kills the virus. And there's many different compounds. I've got a great paper here on garlic. And it's isolated, selected medicinal herbs and their isolated natural compounds. So it talks about different compounds in the herbs. And all the allicins and all that sort of stuff are very, very potent against loads of viruses. And I won't put many different viruses.
Yeah.
So it kills them all. It just kills them all. Really good one for that. Now garlic obviously is something good to cook with. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to make a concoction here. Like yes, you go buy this stuff. But if you're having a stir fry or a curry, you put ginger, garlic and turmeric in there so far. Yeah. Don't put andrographis in it. You chuck it out. No. That's get that in a tablet form if you can.
Yeah.
I just get that so I can dose it up.
That's not overly available for that's a practitioner. We get it in tinctures and they're super strong. But yeah, you can get it in tablet form in retail areas, I'm sure. Yeah,
I think you can. I mean, you can get it capsulated. Yeah. So I'm keeping this little graph here which talks about, where the herbs work. And so I'm trying to target different areas and trying to be a bit scientific. But the reason why I say garlic is because you can get it from the supermarket. Yeah. And you lightly crush it up and eat it. And it doesn't, some people don't like the taste of it, but look, even if you cook with it lightly, it's good. It really does work. It really is one of those ones. Yes, you can get it like that. And it's potent.
It's pretty potent, yeah.
Oh, my God. So I mean, but as we were saying before, we could have all these herbs and all these tinctures. So if you see a naturopath, I mean, you could, if you're in a clinic and that, as naturopaths are, they can make up a potent. And some of them are in health food shops now.
Yeah,
and you can just say,
you can get a tincture.
Can you make a bottle of, imagine, just hypothetically, how would this taste? Forget the taste.
Yeah, you don't worry about that. None of them taste good.
So far, we put ginger, garlic, andrographis
that's potent,
in it and maybe turmeric.
Well. Yeah.
I mean, just that you'd have the most super potent viral thing and it would taste awful. But imagine how strong it'd be.
You'd be all over it. You'd be back on your feet in 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. I mean, that's a good one. And I know you agree that's a really good one. But it also has other effects. It reduces cholesterol. Yeah. It's very good for your gut.
Yep.
It's anti-carcinogenic.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like it would say pungent. Great for detoxifying heavy metals because there's sulfur base in it. Yeah. So it's got lots of good. Garlic is good for you. Even if you've got a cold or not. Yeah. It really is good. Yeah. And the mechanism, the things that are boosts in the body is, and I've got a nice graph here.
Yes.
which shows you what it does in the body. And this is published in Molecules 2023. And garlic boosts T cells, boosts B cells, boosts natural killer cells, boosts IgG and IgA, and has a negative effect on the pro-inflammatory cytokines and has a positive effect on the anti-inflammatory cytokines. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Exactly what you want.
Yeah.
It's similar to echinacea above it, actually, and we mentioned that before. Now, no, I haven't mentioned those other two herbs. So
Right.
But ginger, for example, is almost the same mechanism of action.
Yeah.
It boosts T cells, B cells, natural killer cells, reduces inflammation, of course, and it boosts anti-inflammatory cytokines. It's like, what a great resume.
Yeah.
I love this. There's other herbs. Anyway, get to them.
Done. Right.
So that's my garlic one.
Yeah.
Very good for you.
Very
Look,
good.
even if you just get it in your diet somehow every day, it's a really good thing to have every day.
Yeah, really good.
What else would you add to garlic?
Well, I mean, I chose garlic as well.
Yeah.
And the reason I chose garlic, probably similar to you, is because it's accessible for everybody and you can put it in your diet. So there's a couple of curly ones like glutathione, not so easily accessible to the general public, and a few other ones I have in here. But garlic, I wanted to put that in because it's so accessible. And as you said, for all those reasons you said, it's also antifungal as well. So it's good against any candidas and fungal infections. Antibacterial, it's antiviral, as you said, good for cardiovascular health, as you said. The other thing I love about it is it's a biofilm disruptor.
Oh, okay, we better talk about biofilms. What's a biofilm? Is it something you watch on TV?
Oh, could be biofilm.
Film.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
You're all over it. It could be that, but it's also a lot of pathogens will create it's like a shell. So they build this like hard shell around their colony, so that anything coming in can't kill them. It's like kind of like shield. And so you need to break down that biofilm to actually get in to kill the virus, the pathogen, whatever is in there. So garlic is very good at breaking down that biofilm so that it exposes those pathogens to be eliminated. So that's another reason I love it. And the allicin, as you said, is the active chemical or component of the garlic. And to activate it, if you're cooking garlic at home, chop it up and leave it sitting on the bench for 10 minutes. And that will activate that allicin. So that's the part that you want. And then if you can't have it raw, what I say is generally if you put it in your cooking at the last minute and just heat it through so you don't get that full raw flavour, but it keeps the active nice and active, basically. So that's a little tip for you if you're having garlic, if you can't do it raw. If you can do it raw, chop it up and leave it. 10 minutes is all you need. And then either down it however you want to down it or just sprinkle it on top of your cooked food. But if you do feel like you have to cook it, then put it in towards the end of the cooking.
There's one other thing you've missed out, another mechanism of action. It keeps vampires away.
It does keep vampires. Well, that's true because I've never seen a vampire, Steve, and I eat a fair bit of garlic.
Yes, so there you go. That's correlation and causation. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, plus, it just won't help you pick up the chicks, will it?
Well, I mean, once, I think I've told this story before, I did an experiment with garlic. So I did 24 hours of having a clove of garlic every hour to just basically a big detox cleanse. I did it years ago.
Sounds like Naturopathy College all over again.
I know. I like to experiment with
used
things.
To do.
And I felt fine. I felt great. But I couldn't smell it. I couldn't smell the garlic on me at all. And I caught up with a friend and they were just would not come near me.
A male friend?
Female.
Oh, okay.
Female friend.
I didn't know if you were going for a...
Oh, no, nothing like that. No, I just caught up for lunch with a friend. And she could smell it a mile away. I couldn't smell it at all. But it comes out of your pores.
Out of your pores,
It comes out of everything. Yeah. So just be aware if you have a lot of garlic that you may smell and you may not notice it yourself. So
when you're swiping left on Tinder, you don't want to be...
I think it was back in those days too. It might have been actively dating at the time. It was a long time ago. Anyway.
I've never been
modern dating world.
I tried to act cool and tell a joke about Tinder. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh no, I've had to go there in the past. Yeah. No, I haven't had to, but there is no other way to date anymore. No, because I don't drink. So I don't go to pubs. what are pubs or clubs or clubs or clubs? I don't go to clubs or pubs or anything. And I don't really go out socially, go to the gym or whatever. So what else do you do? Well, I don't know how we got on to Tinder. We're talking about immunity, but anyway.
I mean, I'm just thinking that you do when you go on a Tinder date, it's contraindicated garlic. That's probably
that would be contraindicated. I don't think I did garlic if I went on a Tinder date. I didn't do many, to be honest. I didn't do many because they were train wrecks.
Don't want to say.
You know about a couple.
No. It's sort of like, I mean, there was some funny times you had there, Nick.
There was good conversation for the office anyway, back in those days.
But it's quite, I mean, quick, let's talk about garlic.
Anyway, garlic, it's great. It's great. It's easily accessible for everybody. So that's why I love that
biofilm thing. That's really good for the gut.
Yeah, really good. Really good. So that
was me. What about you now?
That was my other one. All right, so my next one, and this one's probably a little bit more left of centre. Not a lot of people may have heard about it.
Good.
Cat's claw.
Oh, una de gato.
That's right.
The claw of the cat.
Cat's claw.
That's my only Spanish I know, and so don't ask me anything else.
Yeah.
If it sounded intelligent, lucky. But yeah, cat's claw.
It didn't sound intelligent.
No, that's right. So cat's claw, it was on my radar, cat's claw, but I didn't
cat's
do
claw,
it.
I love it. I love it. As I said, it's not something that's used a lot. You don't see it around a lot. It's very good for enhancing immune function.
Yeah.
So it helps to strengthen your immunity.
Yep.
Again, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. Really, really good. Good for poor immunity, so people who are a little bit immune sort of suppressed, people who are more prone to infections, regular infections and things like that's really good. People who are convalescing, so people who have been quite ill, debilitated, that type of thing. Chronic fatigue syndrome, really good for chronic fatigue syndrome as well. Yeah.
Well, there was a product I developed, I can't remember, it was with Metagenics, I remember the name of it, but I probably won't say it. But it had two major ingredients, and one of them was cat's claw.
I love it.
Because it really targeted natural killer cells.
Yes.
And got them moving, which is great.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned anti-inflammatory and that sort of thing. So this is interesting. This is when we can start to tailor which immune herbs, because we could say 20, 30 immune herbs.
There's so many.
But let's say you've got, and we talked about doing an autoimmune podcast. Let's say you've got an inflammatory condition, a chronic inflammatory, bad back, arthritis, whatever it is. You know, you could add cat's claw, ginger, turmeric as your immune booster to kill your cold.
Yeah.
But if you pick three herbs you could give for someone, who's got autoimmune, you could pick those three, couldn't you?
You could. Yeah,
so add glutathione and quercetin.
Glutathione and quercetin. Yeah. So awesome. I love that. It's anti-carcinogenic. It's good for
that's good.
Yeah, tumours, things like that. Really good for the gut as well. So inflammation within the gut, skin inflammation, and gastric ulcers and things like that. Really good for that. I got a bit of an anecdotal story.
Tell me.
I had Meniere's years ago. Meniere's disease
is like an
ear thing. It's it's horrendous if anyone that's had it. But I only had one bout of it and I never had it again.
Really?
But it was when I was training before my first comp actually.
Oh.
Yeah, and I got this Meniere's and it's horrendous. So it gives you vertigo. You can't hear properly. Everything is amplified. It's horrendous. You just have to lock yourself in a quiet room. I started taking cat's claw, and I never had another issue with Meniere's. This is anecdotal. This isn't this isn't something to say go out and do this if you've got Meniere's. But for me, it was gone within a month, and that would have been 30 years ago. So
you're into cat's claw 30 years ago.
30 years ago. Wow. That's when I first got onto it. Yeah. And I don't know why I did cat's claw. It might have been sort of intuitive, but I love it. But very, very good for the immune system. Very good. As I said, anti-inflammatory. It does a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, really it did cross my mind, that one, went to put on a list there, but I didn't. I kept it a little bit, the last few I've got.
A bit more obscure?
Well, one of them's pretty common.
Okay.
Do you want me to do the common one?
Yeah, give me your next one.
Licorice.
Oh.
Did you pick that?
I didn't pick licorice. I very rarely use licorice.
I know. It's a controversial one. Very controversial, but it works really well in certain types of viruses and that sort of thing, and a great one that makes things taste better, and a really easy one that people have a little bit of access to, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And it's very antiviral. And I picked that one because of the old... And my old herbalist, Dr. Ray Teal, who's passed away now, and it was one of his favourite things for anyone with a cold or flu because he said it was soothing, demulcent, but also potently antiviral,
Yeah,
and really got the, so like, you know, let's say you're sick and you can buy some of this licorice tea and you can put a bit of honey in there and it's just soothing and antiviral and really, really good one.
Yeah.
But one that, you know, like I could have picked a real potent one out from one of these papers, but the licorice one was just something that I just thought, yeah, that's something that I think I'd enjoy to have when I've got a flu and cold.
Yeah. Look, licorice is great, and I love licorice in herbal medicine. I don't use a lot of it because it can raise blood pressure. And people who have high cortisol, it can impact them, and people can have sodium retention from it as well. So I'm a bit cautious with it. But for people who don't have any blood pressure issues, adrenal issues, that type of thing, or if they have adrenal issues but they're completely depleted, so flatliners, then it's really good for those types of
I guess I like
populations.
licorice too because it slightly boosts testosterone in men.
Oh, there you go.
And I need it.
Well, you're like that one.
Because it inhibits the enzyme 11-hydroxysteroid beta dehydrogenase, which is the enzyme that detoxifies cortisol and testosterone. So if you inhibit it, you get more testosterone.
That's right, and more cortisol.
Yeah, more cortisol.
Which is why we give it to people who are very, you know, chronic fatigue syndromes, things like that, really depleted. That's a really good one. But it is great antiviral, very good for heartburn.
Yeah.
I give deglycerized licorice. So that's taken the glycerin out of it, which is the compound that causes the issues with the blood pressure, the cortisol. So completely safe then. And I use that a lot. I use it a lot for heartburn and good for H. pylori as well, which is a bacterial infection.
Yeah.
So yeah,
in your gut. That's the one that causes ulcers.
Yeah.
So it's a really it's one I threw in there. It's sort of a bit left field, but also a bit now in my chart of viruses also in this paper of molecules, it actually works with andrographis to inhibit the replication of viruses. So that's where it is on. That's number 2 on the food there. So that's where it works.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Another andrographis. Yeah, we talked about that one. So there's someone there that I haven't exposed yet. I'll expose to you later.
Expose them to me later. Sorry, I didn't realise that.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so licorice is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can get it in a tea.
Yep.
You can get it obviously in herbal. There's a herbal supplement.
Yep.
Get it in complexes of things.
Yeah,
as well.
it's one that I thought, you know, that's a really good cold and fluey one. It's got its drawbacks.
Yeah.
It's about I just threw it in there because I didn't think you'd pick it.
No, well, you know me, Steve. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of licorice.
Yeah.
I just don't use it a lot. But I use DGL a lot, deglycerized. I do use that a lot.
You'll love my last 2, but I think it's up to you now.
It is up to me.
So what was your herb, Nic?
My next herb, Steve, is thyme. Never enough of it.
Is that the herb thyme?
We both just did a really dodgy joke then.
I thought, oh, that's a good joke. Let's say it. It didn't work out.
No, that didn't work because I tried to put my dodgy joke over the top of it. It didn't work. Sorry, Steve.
You can see we didn't make it in comedy.
What are you talking about, Steve? I think I'm pretty funny.
Oh, you are pretty funny.
Anyway, back to thyme.
Thyme.
Yeah.
Thymus vulgaris.
That's right.
Vulgaris means common.
Yeah. So the reason I put thyme in,
why?
Easily accessible. It's a culinary herb as well, so you can put it in cooking.
Tastes like shit.
Oh, you don't like thyme
no,
either.
a little bit of it, but if you get too strong, it's real astringent.
It can be quite strong.
Because you know why I used to... Oh, no, you go first because I'll tell you why I used to use it.
Okay, all right. I love it because it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, and it's anti-fungal. So it covers... It's all everything. It's really good for lung stuff, so coughs, congestion in the lungs, that type of thing for getting out sort of that mucus. Really good for that. And it is also a biofilm disruptor, just like the garlic.
Bloody biofilm thing. This is good.
Really, really good. So I love it. And as I said, I grow it in the garden, so I put it in cooking a lot as well. And I've made teas out of it as well, so you put in some hot water. My dog loves it. I loves it. No.
Your vicious killer guard dog.
My vicious killer guard dog, yeah, I know.
Show me your arms. This is why Nic hasn't got measles, which actually looks like today.
I don't think it shows up on the camera, thank goodness, but I have got little bite marks.
Little
bite marks.
At least they can be ferocious by a great white.
They're called land sharks for a reason, German shepherds. We have a bush of it, and he jumps in it and rolls in it. He loves it, and then he can smell thyme everywhere.
Really?
So maybe he's getting a cold or something.
Well, Flatface, the cat, used to like. We grew some catnip for him.
Oh, is that actually a thing? Because I thought that was just a fallacy.
That's a thing. No, it's a real thing. I don't know what it does. I don't know. They don't look distressed while they're on it, but they're rolling in it and smooching it and everything. It's weird shit.
It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So time. So very good. Very good for lung things. So if you just got a cold and you've got a cough, that type of thing, it can be really good for that. Obviously, you can get it in a tincture, but I like it because you can grow it at home. You can grow it in a pot on a balcony if you don't have a yard. And as I said, you can put it in your cooking. You can put it in your salads. You can make teas out of it. So, if you've got a cold and you've got a cough, get some thyme.
I've got to tell you how my story with it. Back in 1995, the way I was paying my way through naturopathy, I'm not, but I was a professional musician. I know that's a terrible thing to say because musos are not known for their.
Your muso. You told us a lot of your muso stories.
So, but being a lead singer and singing 6 nights a week,
yes.
okay, and I'd always have a sore throat and it'd always get infected because you're always breathing into microphones from gigs from the night before and kissing girls after the gig. No, it was the muso life. I'm sorry. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't hygienic and anything like that. It wasn't.
Just kept going.
It wasn't. It wasn't good. I'm not proud of those days, but because you're always getting throat infections, always.
Oh, okay.
And you got to remember, if you're doing a gig, the night after the gig, grab your mic, chuck it in a case with all the sweat and because you're breathing into a mic for hours on stage, like 4 hours we do, 4 to 5 hour gigs, and the bacteria just sitting there. And what I did was, and this is Dr. Ray Teal, who was my herbalist in 1995. He said, he's got an American accent, so I'll try and do that. No, why don't you try gargling some thyme? And I went, oh, okay, yeah. And he was very smart. And he was an old school herbalist, so he knew his stuff. And I gargled it. And I used to, when you're singing, the hardest part for me was getting to the high notes. And I swear that my voice improved by at least 3 semitones on time. It tonified. And I sound like an old herbalist myself, but it tonified the vocal cords so I could actually sing higher.
Yeah. Oh,
and I did it for months and months on end, no infections. And when, after, just before bed, I'd gargle it. I'd get up in the morning, gargle it, because you sound like you were all the time because you were singing all night. I used to play at Burleytown Tavern from 6 till 9, and then from 10 till 4 in the morning, I'd sing in Surface Paradise. And you sing loud because you're busking. And that's for so you sing for 8 hours. It's a long time.
It's a long time.
And I'd always, before I go to bed, I'd gargle the bloody time. Tasted awful to me because I made it really strong, but geez, it worked.
Yeah.
Really good. And it's in a lot of Western herbal medicine formulas for lung conditions.
Yeah, it is.
Really good one.
So if you get some licorice tea, so if you do have a cough, throat issues and a cough, if you're getting a cold, grow some thyme and get some licorice tea.
Yep.
So then you've got your mucilagenic to help with that inflammation of the throat, and then you've got your thyme to help with the lungs.
Amazing.
So it's something.
Can I give another mechanism as a side? You want to know its side effect?
Yes.
It's anti-carcinogenic.
See, a lot of these are anti-carcinogenic.
I know.
Isn't it?
It's like
anything to do with immunity.
And this is a review article called "Opportunities of Health Promotion: Highlights of Herbs and Spices to Improve Immune System and Wellbeing," and it's published 2020 in Integrative Medicine. And this is where I got those mechanisms from. As you said, anti-tumor, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, and antimicrobial. And those throat infections were probably bacterial in those days. And so it would be really good for that. And I swear by it. It saved my ass.
Yeah.
And because I could sing more, I could play more and make more money and pay my way through naturopathy.
There you go.
There was none of this.
Sit here and talk about time.
No,
there was no circle of life. Steve.
Exactly. None of this vet fee help or that sort of stuff in my day.
There wasn't.
There was none of that stuff. So you just had to bloody pay for it, and I paid for it by singing on the streets of Surface Paradise.
There you go.
I had long hair then too.
I know you told me that you had long hair. I can't imagine.
Oh, it was about your length.
Was it? My hair goes down right down to my lower back. It's very long.
Maybe
it doesn't look as long, but it's
my nickname is Curly.
You said that too. So you had curly long hair, whereas now you've got short, not curly hair.
Describe my hair now, Nick, for just the listeners
It's a beautiful silvery colour.
And what's
it's short.
Very short in one
neat.
patch on the top.
It's just neat and
it's very neat.
It's not long enough to be curly, Steve. That's all. I'm sure if you grew it out, it would be like flowing, like ringlets.
It would be. Well, the top wouldn't be because there's a little bit of there's a solar panel going on there. And it's very grey in my hair for those who are listening.
No, salt and pepper, Steve, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper,
yeah.
But there's a lot of good-looking guys that have grey hair.
Oh, George Clooney doesn't.
That's the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah, isn't there saying that?
And Matt's good
Matt
looking
in the corner, yeah. reminding us of that.
And
yeah.
it's like so I don't mind that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's the silver fox thing.
It's funny you mentioned pepper, salt and pepper. Pepper's a really good antimicrobial as well.
It is very good antimicrobial. That's true.
Good segue there.
That's right.
But there's lots of, but we'll get to that. But black pepper, you should see the mechanisms of action in this same paper: antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, antimicrobial, antibacterial, antipyretic, so flus, analgesic for pain, and enhances bioavailability. So, for your dinner that we talked about with all this ginger and garlic, get some black cracked pepper and put it in there too.
Yeah.
It's like this is, put some chili in there, paprika. That's antimicrobial. So you make a
stir fry and throw all this in there.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to the practical things at the end. So that's a really good one, isn't it?
That is a really good one, yeah. I really like thyme.
Do you want mine?
Yes, give me yours. Is this your last one, Steve?
Second last one for some. Oh, because we doubled up, remember?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But that's all right. Ashwagandha.
Oh, can't go past
Did you knew that one?
No, I didn't actually.
I thought that's one you were going to guess.
I do love ashwagandha, but I didn't pick it.
It's funny, like we have it in some other formulas that we won't talk about because it has so many mechanisms of action.
It does.
But ashwagandha, where's my major graph? This one. Ashwagandha is fantastic for working, and it, quote, works with garlic to directly target viral proteins. So it actually goes out and kills viruses. Now, ashwagandha boosts the immune system. As a side effect, it boosts testosterone in old men, produces women's sexual health too. I won't go into detail because I got in trouble for that, remember?
Yes, you did get in trouble for that. Yes.
I don't know how I got in trouble. I didn't say a word during that part.
That was probably the whole point of it. That's what you made me say.
That's right. Yeah, I made you say. But it's also great for sleep. I mean, Withania samara, which is its Latin name, somifera is Latin for sleep, so it helps you sleep. So this is a good one to take for those people who are, needing to sleep while they've got this cold and flu going on.
Yeah.
This could be another one chucking in. We're making this hypothetical formula as the best of the best. And people at home can go, oh, I haven't got some of that, but I've got some, some Withania in there and ashwagandha, it's the same thing. And you just can take that and that'll boost you. And a lot of people take that for sleep.
Definitely.
Stress, anxiety.
Yeah, well, I mean, in general, if you have an infection or some sort of immune thing going on, it can impact your adrenals a little bit. So it's very good as an adaptogen. So it's going to help with that as well. So I think that's a great one.
It's a really, really good one. I mean, I in this viral chart, we're actually, if you look at these and these herbs, turmeric and ginger blocks the entry of viruses. Licorice and andrographis inhibits the replication. Andrographis again it blocks the production of gene expression virus, and garlic and Withania or ashwagandha directly target viral proteins.
Wow.
I mean, it's like these are just Indian herbs. And it's just having those herbs will kill the virus at every possible chance.
Yeah.
So making a bottle of this stuff up is amazing. So you could go and see a naturopath and just get one of these made up for you and just have it on the shelf ready to go. It's not winter now, and everyone's.
We're not far. We're into autumn now in Australia. So
we are
moving into that sort of cold flu type season.
So I was gonna have a go at the Southern's Melbourne weather, but it's really hot down there.
I know it is really hotter down there than it is here.
Speaking to my mum, and she's freaking out about the heat down there.
I know, I love it. We keep going off topic, but I watch all the things and it's super hot, and people are talking about their pets and what you do with other your kids and keep everyone inside, and it's this big news story. And I'm like, well, we deal with that every day up here. It's just standard every day. That it's hot and stinking hot and humid and horrible.
Well, your vicious pet's pretty hairy. What do you do about that?
Oh, he lives in the air conditioning.
Oh, of course he does.
He doesn't. He only goes. Yeah, he doesn't go outside much.
I've seen him even attack the water. He jumped in there and started.
He did attack. He loves the water. Yeah,
That's funny, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, have you got one off the top of your head or something?
Well, I know because you took one of mine.
I stole
so I'm
it.
one down
Stole
now.
it.
I know. So I'm going to just come off the top of my head. So vitamin A.
Vitamin A.
Yeah.
That's a work of the devil, isn't it? Because I remember we were demonised for
vitamin
if
A.
you fall pregnant.
Oh, yeah, it's going to cause birth defects, liver issues and all sorts of things. No.
You're not talking a high dose, are you?
Not talking high dose, no. So vitamin A, really important for development and function of our immune system.
Yeah.
So it's involved in that heavily. So, really good for respiratory issues, all of that sort of thing. So
That's a good one.
anything immune, really good vitamin A. And it's not, I mean, we get it in our food, obviously, but it's not something that you see a lot in complexes and supplements and things like that. So it can be really important. Good for thyroid health as well. Not that this is a thyroid podcast, but really good for lots of different things. I'm just reading what's here.
Can I give you an old remedy that I was given as a child when I got a cold and flu?
Tell me what.
Cod liver oil.
Oh yes,
it's rich in vitamin D and what's the other vitamin?
Vitamin A.
Hey,
yeah,
and
that's
what
a pretty
that's how you
practice back then, wasn't it?
Because vitamin D and vitamin A are great for the immune system.
Yeah.
And cod liver oil was the stock standard, and even my parents were given it, and probably my grandparents. This was the medicine because high vitamin A is great for the immune system.
So good for the immune system.
It's antioxidant.
Really high in liver if anyone wants to get it through their diet.
Like cod livers.
Liver, for all the non-plant-based people, obviously. So, really good for that.
What about vitamin A? It's also an antioxidant.
It is an antioxidant. So I've got a couple of little studies here.
Oh, go. Let's
this one's for the big C virus, but observational study investigating the correlation of serum vitamin A and the
big C
virus. The study found that people hospitalised with this virus had significantly lower serum vitamin A levels than the controls.
See, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And then a lower serum vitamin A levels are associated with increased inflammation markers, reduced lymphocyte counts in patients with viral infections. And lower vitamin A levels are closely correlated with increasing severity symptoms and the development of acute respiratory issues
infections, from viruses,
Yeah, so really interesting. So vitamin A is a really important one that a lot of people don't think of because we think of vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, they're the standards, but vitamin A we don't think of as often. So I
remember a formula when we used to call it ACE and it had something else in it with it.
Yeah.
Zinc?
Casein,
zinc.
No, it was vitamin A, vitamin C.
Yeah, and vitamin E, was it?
ACE.
And it was
ACE.
Yeah.
Yeah, vitamin A, vitamin C.
And that was a great immune thing that we used to give to people.
Yeah.
Vitamin A's fallen out of favour a bit because people just say, I'll eat vegetables full of carotenoids which turn into vitamin A.
Yeah.
But you just may not have enough vitamin A.
No, that's right.
I mean, special mentions, we could have talked about zinc.
Well, so we could have talked about zinc and vitamin D, but I think everyone really knows.
I tried to avoid them to not bore people because they're and vitamin C, but it's
standard.
I thought of, now I've got one more that's a little bit.
How can you feel like you've got so many more than me, Steve?
I've got 5.
I feel like you're ripping me off here.
How many are there? Like seriously, there's 5, right?
There's 5. I had 5. I was going to pick this one.
Were you?
I didn't end up picking it. Yeah.
I picked it because it's a nice Chinese one, and look, astragalus. I mean, it's got lots of data on it.
Astragalus is great.
I like it. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on the long term sort of effects of it?
So I mean, astragalus is more for acute infections, isn't it? Astragalus rather than the longer term chronic type thing. So I don't use it. Well, I don't use a lot of tinctures and things anymore because of the cost for the patients. But astragalus is one of the herbs that I think was very hard to get during the pandemic.
Oh yes,
because everyone was all over the astragalus for the virus.
I know, and it and I'm just going off this paper in Molecules 2023 again. there's polysaccharides, saponins, flavonoids in it, and all that sort of stuff. Now, the Latin name is Astragalus membranus, which means it just the first thing was on the mucous membranes.
Yeah.
But it boosts T cells, boosts B cells, boosts natural killer cells, boosts IgG, IgA, IgM, reduces inflammation, and has also boosts the cytokines that are anti-inflammatory. So it's got the perfect resume.
Yeah.
Very much like echinaceas and all the other ones we talked about, the garlics, ginger, and ashwagandha. Ashwagandha tops the list, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that herb is like, for me, I think, because I'm an aging male, is something, and I do take it every day. I don't take that every day.
No.
Because that tastes like shit.
It does.
But you can get, and the KSM 66 version of it is a really good potent form of that.
Yeah.
And so we've done a whole podcast just on that extract, just on that herb. So it's a really good one. But adding that one in there, astragalus, I was tempted to get a bottle of it, as an acute thing as well, because this thing kills, that thing boosts the immune system.
Yeah. I had a bottle at home. I threw it away because it was out of date.
Really?
And I probably shouldn't have, because these tinctures are in so much alcohol that they're not really going to go off. But I had it. I bought it during the pandemic and I never used it because
Keith Richards is still alive because of alcohol.
I know. He's just preserved himself.
Typical muso.
Yeah.
His amp goes up to 11, I'm sure.
I know.
I sent Nick a video of a muso. He changed his amp to put it to 11, which made it louder, of course, because 11's louder than 10.
That's right. That's
I don't know why that's a mystery.
That's not a mystery at all.
No, it's quite funny. But but look, this is so let's try and just wrap it up. Okay, someone's got a cold, they've got all the money in the world, they've got all access to all meals, all herbs. What would be a good, what would be like you've got home from work, you're starting to feel sick. What do you cook this person for dinner?
Well, I'd do a stir fry, because a stir fry is something you can chuck anything in. It's super easy. And your garlic and your ginger go really well in a stir fry as well. So that's what I would start with, some sort of stir fry.
Would you make it spicy?
Yeah, put a bit of chili in there as well.
Chili, warming, and chili's antimicrobial.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so you put a bit of protein in there to build all your
definitely need the
acids.
protein. We haven't really talked about dietary things or gut health.
No, we can't. You put like lots of vegetables. That's just good for you.
Or your veggies, or your brightly coloured vegetables. So you put all those in there. So then you'd eat that.
Yep.
And then before you go to bed, you might make yourself a nice tea before you go to bed. So you can throw in a bit of ginger, a bit of thyme.
Licorice.
Bit of licorice.
That's one of my, okay, so that's a good sort of food and that sort of thing. But okay, let's make up a herbal tincture that doesn't matter what it tastes like, doesn't matter how much you take. Just what sort of herbs would you put in a tincture as a naturopath? What would you give them if you had all access to any herbs, whatever?
Well, I would do andrographis.
Yes.
I'd do cat's claw.
Cat's claw, yeah.
I'd put ginger in there.
Yes.
Here's one that we didn't talk about, this depends. It depends if we're talking viral or if we're talking bacterial.
Say viral.
So viral. So I put a bit of olive leaf in there, which I probably should have picked up olive leaf, actually. I didn't think of olive leaf.
That's a good one,
I had to pick up a new one. Olive leaf is really good. It's antiviral. It's antioxidant. It's anti-inflammatory, like all of them. So that's a really good one as well. Bit of garlic.
Tincture, yeah.
Yeah. That's which are pretty horrible, garlic tinctures, and some turmeric, curcumin.
Yeah, really good one. I mean, you could, would you ashwagandha for the sleep?
Yeah, I'd probably put ashwagandha in, if we're talking about just packing this thing full.
Packing it full, pack it. Yeah. I mean, there's so many herbs in there. Now, what about my last one, astragalus? Would you put that in there as well?
If we're talking acute, then yes, I'd put astragalus
acute. You've got the virus, you're going to bed.
Yeah.
You've had your nice healthy meal full of all the stuff.
Yeah.
And what about supplements? What you got access to all the vitamins? What would you?
So I would definitely do vitamin C.
Yep.
I know it's not immune, but it does help your immune system. But very, very, I think it can shorten the duration of the cold by 2 hours or something.
That's all right.
But it's good for antioxidant. It's good for so many different things. The vitamin D, I would do zinc.
Yep.
I would do the glutathione, definitely. Yeah. I would also do fish oil.
Yeah.
That's another thing I put in for people who have viral infections or any sort of pathogenic infection for the anti-inflammatory aspect of that.
Probably quercetin too.
Oh, definitely quercetin. Definitely quercetin, yes.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah, I've got bottles of quercetin.
Oh, look, it's great stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of things you could take and, you could put some thyme in that thing. You could put some But yeah, just to kill the virus.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't started with that mucus thing yet.
Yeah.
These are the sorts of things you can start to think about. So what I would advise people to do is to get some sort of immune whatever, whatever immune product you want, get a really good one, ask a naturopath, and do what I do and have it at home waiting for you because it's time dependent.
Yeah.
Time.
If you're like,
But like as I said, I just keep one bottle there and that's that one. And I gave the remainder of, I've got another bottle home now because I ordered a new bottle. That's why I brought that one in to give out to the staff here.
Yeah.
But it's so good. You just take that or something like that, I've got an immune tablet too. I won't talk about that. But it's great. So as soon as you get sick, you take it.
Yeah.
You don't wait, because if I even think I'm getting a cold, I say, one time I felt I had a sore throat. I took a cupful of that, a capful, which is cap. So that's 5 mils and that's a whacking dose. So when I woke up and I was fine, I didn't have a symptom.
Yeah, no, it's
and
great.
It's like, I just killed it.
Yeah.
As well as, I have my ashwagandha in with that too, because that's just good for me because I'm old. It's good for your brain, helps you sleep. It's really good for it. Yeah. So that's a really good prescription for someone if they're getting cold. But first things first, grab an immune supplement, whatever it is, have it home with you. Don't wait till you get sick and then you got to go to the pharmacy. Get it home and eat like those meals that we talked about and prevent it.
Yeah. And leading into cold and flu season, we obviously all the lifestyle things which we don't have to mention, make sure you're getting enough sleep because that can impact immunity if you're not sleeping well, if you're too much stress. Dietary-wise, make sure your gut health is really good because 70% of your immunity is in your gut.
Lots of good bugs there.
Secretory IgA levels. So if you don't have a healthy gut, you're going to be more inclined to have poor immunity.
Yep.
So we want to make sure the lifestyle stuff's covered, a good diet, nice whole food diet, lots of colourful vegetables, all the things we talk about, and then get on to some of these herbs and nutrients and you'll kill off any pathogen in days.
Hours, I reckon, with the stuff we've talked about.
Do high enough dose.
That's great, Nick. I reckon we've given people something to sink their teeth into.
Yeah.
All right, we have about all we've got time for, so we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.